Hey guys, it's Yuki and welcome to this week's episode of Invest Roundup. In case you missed out our first episode and wonder why we started this show, it's just for a simple reason. There's so much going on in the stock market day in and day out, and there's simply too many market news to keep up with. So what we'll do here is pick some of the most recent and important stock market news, condense those and give you the scope, the highlights and the TLDR. Basically all you need to know about what's happening. Disclaimer: whatever stock or news we talk about is not a recommendation to buy or to sell. These are just news we deem important, things we think you need to know if you're interested in the stock market, or if you intend to invest. First news item, the US election. Final nail in the coffin for a major market crash. With the recent chaos that comes with US election, is a major market crash underway? There has been a lot of opinions speculating how US election will affect the stock market. For example, according to Business Insider, legendary investor Mark Mobius was quoted by Bloomberg saying that stocks will have real problem if Trump loses the presidency. In what he maintained was not a political statement, Mark pointed out that US stock market can only remain sustainable at its current high valuation if the incumbent president is victorious. He added that Joe Biden's proposed tax increases will be bad for US market and countries that export goods to the US, like China, South Korea and Taiwan. Over Nasdaq though, folks are saying it's been historically proven that stocks market perform better under Democrats than Republicans, citing example from when Clinton and Obama were president. On top of that, if Biden emerges victorious in this election, the trade relationship with China can be restored and benefit both countries. In fact, on CNN, the stock market was giving a strong prediction last week that Joe Biden will be the one holding office this time round. And Forbes even came up with a list of industry to invest should Joe Biden be elected. Well guys, we can predict all we want, people can have their opinions, but in the end, it is what it is, right? Second news item, Apple shares fall despite revenue gain. It looks like not even money can help Apple stock's performance these days. According to CNN, the shares for the company fell last week despite their revenue increasing compared to the last quarter. The revenue was $1 billion more than most analysts had forecasted, and yet the shares fell more than 5%. According to Bloomberg, this was due to the decline in sales for iPhone 12 and sales in China dropping by 29%. Seems like it doesn't matter to the market that the sales of Mac and services were at their all-time highs this quarter, and also the fact that the company had topped Wall Street's projection. In any case, Apple CEO Tim Cook maintained that the new iPhone 12 line has been well received and will continue to flourish. The good news is Christmas is usually a great time for Apple, and it is the time of the year where a lot of people will buy their product as presents. So we never know, things might just pick up again. It is also worth noting that this stock gained 57% this year, so 5% fall, really not too bad honestly. By the way, before we go on to the next news item, click on the subscribe button below now so you will be informed the next time we upload a new episode. That way you won't miss any important market news. Third news item, European stock market have just had their worst week since June. It has been a rough week for the European stock markets. According to The Guardian, there is now a growing fear in the stock market as a lot of European countries are coming out with fresh lockdown restriction. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced last week that England is going into a month-long lockdown after the country's infection rate surpassed 1 million. He also warned that COVID-19 death this time round could be twice as bad as it was in spring. So if you are watching this from the UK, stay safe. European stock index Stocks Europe 600 also fell by 5.6%, presumably prompted by the lockdown in France, Germany and Switzerland. Whereas UK's FTSE 100 index is now 26% down on the year. This actually comes off a little sad because it was just announced that Eurozone had recorded a quarterly jump of 14% in GDP, with France, Italy, Germany and Spain all reporting quarter-on-quarter growth and amid the pandemic too. But unfortunately, this victory is being ignored by the stock market because of lockdown fears. A financial analyst even said, until the virus is contained, there can be no clear direction for the market in the short term. So you guys out there in the stock market, buckle up, it's going to be a rough ride from here. News item 4, and finally, Under Armour definitely not under with their earnings. Under Armour is making headlines again recently, not because they have new athlete or celebrity endorsement, but because they have outdone themselves and top estimate in sales and earnings. According to CNBC, this came after the numerous lockdown due to COVID-19, and consumers started shopping online stocking up on their sneakers and workout gears. This gave Under Armour a welcome boost. Under Armour CEO Patrick Fries even cited that they now have higher demands for their product. The company, who in the past has been relying heavily on department stores and discount chain for product sales, is now working hard to fight their own battle and sell more directly to their customers. Despite this progression, however, its share price was still falling by more than 1.5% last Friday after initial surging more than 8%. Their market close last Thursday was down by 36% this year. The company had also recently announced that they are selling MyFitnessPal for $345 million in an attempt to refocus on its core business strength and connect even more deeply with their consumers. This is $130 million less from their purchase price in 2015, which was at $475 million. But hey, if they think it's good for their business, who am I to judge? And those are the 4 important investment news we had to share with you this week. Once again, we encourage you to get more information if you would like to act on any of the company we have shared about earlier. Comment below and tell us what you would like to see on Invest Roundup and share this video with your friends, especially those who are vested in the stock market. See you again soon.